Morning, folks. We're at the camp again this morning, and it's going to be a mechanical adventure. I got a buddy here, but you may see him on the film, but I don't know. He does not too much of a talkative type. Yeah, just by the way, I seen the partridge. You know that partridge? A few videos ago, I had a partridge. I seen him this morning, not this morning, last night. I was making supper on the barbecue, and I seen him, and now he's got no tail feathers left. I don't know what happened to him, unless it's not the same partridge, but he was coming close to me about 4 or 5 feet, maybe 10 feet away, and wasn't shy at all. We'll probably see him this morning once we take the mule out. They haven't taken it out yet. Okay, now we're in the meat of things, folks. I'm just going to show you with this carburetor here. I got this one closed back. I forgot to film there, so you have to forgive me. This here, there's a pin that holds the float, which is very important. And see, in the carb kit that I got, hang on, the carb kit. It's a Kahin carb kit. By the way, I found out that these carbs are the same as what they have on the Harleys, supposedly. I don't have a Harley, but supposedly Harley has Kahin carbs. But this needle, can you see that right here? Okay, this is the old one. I've already changed it. Sometimes the end, hang on, see the end? It's can I get a focus on that? See the end on that? It's rubber right here at the end. And sometimes that becomes kind of off taper a little bit, so it doesn't seal right. So that's the first thing in your carb kit that you get. Well, you'll get it in your carb kit and you change it, take it off the floats. One thing to do there too is to check. Make sure your floats aren't full of gas. Make sure your floats float. Because if your floats don't float, in here, just by the way, in here on both carbs, this, see here you have 2 jets. One's an air and one's a fuel jet. This here, this one was alright. Okay? See there's little holes, hang on. See, I don't know if you'll be able to tell. See the little holes right? Well, trust me, there's little holes here. And then there's a little hole there. Well, that's for the gas. And there's a needle coming in. And as the needle goes back, then it lets more fuel into the carburetor. That's what I think. But then I'm no expert. But another important one, another needle, is the one in here. I won't bother taking that out, but see the depressed hole here? You have to have a kind of a slinky. This one here, we modified it with the grinder. See, I shaved it on both sides so that it fit inside. See, it just fits perfect. And you don't, when you put it back in, you don't tight it till you take the threads right out. You just snug tight it and that's it. Another thing I done too is you see here on the bowl there's a little gasket, eh? Well, those little gaskets were dried out and they were flattened out. Well, you change them too, and they came in the kit. So that's another thing one does. Clean everything. And then you put it back together. There's 4 screws. And what we have left in the kit, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, there's a spring, a little round rubber O-ring, and the needle screw. That goes in here on the outside. So I'll finish putting this bowl here together. Oh! Wanted to measure. So measuring how high the floats are adjusted. I'm just going to show you. I physically should have filmed it. See right here at the bottom, there's a place. You put that like that. You put gas like the gas connections right here. You put gas, you fill the bowls. Then you put this alongside. Okay? So the gas is supposed to be 1 millimeter above the edge here. So you put that on alongside there, take a screwdriver, and you open up, that's tight, but anyways, you open up the screw, and the gas just fills this, and it'll give you your float level, but you have to put the carburetor so that it's, well, I should close it. Hang on, I'll close it, then I'll show you. Trying to do too many things at the same time here, and that's what happens, eh? I can't. And on top of that, see me, I have a hard time to walk and chew gum at the same time. So maybe some of you guys can do it. But me, I stumble. So we're tightening these screws. Now when you tighten the screws, okay, you don't go hog wild. See, just snug them up. Don't strip your screws. Because if you strip the screws, it only gives you grief after. There. Okay. Now see, I'm just going to show you this. This was like that. You put gas into it right here. Now this tube's here along the side. I'm trying to do this with one hand. The tube's on the side here, and then I open up the screw here, this screw right here. I open it up, so now the level of the float, see the needle valve here opens up, lets the gas fill the float, the fill inside the bowl here, and then in the tube you're going to get the same level of gas as you have inside the bowl when you open the screw here on the side. So then you look at it, and here right from the base, well, it ends up, we measured it, it ends up right here, right with this bottom part here. So then that's where the gas was, so we don't touch the float levels. But that's one way. I know there's gauges, say, like you can put a gauge, oops, it's tight, eh? You can put a gauge alongside the float, and it tells you how you're doing with your float level. Oh, there's something I haven't done yet. I think it's right here. Yeah, that was the big screw right here. So, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish putting this together, then I'll bring it back for the final adjustment screws. But the N word, the N word is going to be, hang on, I'll put my big face in here. Woo, where am I? Oop, I'm right here. The N word is going to be when we see this carburetor on the mule and it's working properly. That's when the whole story is going to be. Because if it doesn't work right, oh, all the work's going to be. But anyways, I don't think we did it for nothing, but time will tell. But all this movie is going to be about rebuilding the basic rebuild. They cleaned it and cleaned the jets and rebuild it. And we're going to see if it works. As I hang in there, I'll bring it back. Okay, friends, now we're going to do the air needles. Well, I've got one done already while you guys weren't watching. But here, I'll see this right here? That's the air needle. So we're going to go in here. Okay, we're sitting inside there. So we're going to crank it in. Hang on. 1.5. 1 3/4. It's 1 3/4 to bottoming it. That's where it was. So now we're going to draw it out. So we got to remember that, eh? You have to use a computer sometimes, eh? If you don't use it, it dries up, and then you can't use it anymore after that. Okay, that's the little needles. See, they give you new ones, eh? See, that's the new one. It's protected with a plastic, and then there's a little O-ring. There's a lock. I don't know if you can see inside here. Plus, there's a little spring. That's the new stuff. First, I gotta get the spring and everything else out of here. Yeah, we have to figure an alternative way here. If I have too much trouble, I have to call it off with you guys and do it, whereas you guys aren't watching. I'm gonna try to get this spring there. I made myself a little hook with some copper wire. Alright. We have the spring. Hang on, I'm gonna look in here. I'll bring you all back when I verified this. Okay, so interruption for a minor detail. Now the little rubber, here, I'll show you. See the little black rubber on the end there? It was stuck inside there, so we got it out. So we got the new one put together, back in here. Now I'm gonna crank her down. Crank it down. One and a half, 3/4 right there. Okay, so now we're going to install this on the mule and we'll bring it back. Okay, I got the needle there all prepped up here. I'm going to show you how I do it. But the way I do it, see, turn the carb upside down. You put it in the hole until you hit the threads. Then you screw it in by hand a little bit. Can you see this right here? Yeah, you can see it. Okay. Now I'm going to screw it in till it bottoms out. You don't strip the threads now. Okay. Now, 1 and a half and 3/4. I'm gonna consult with my supervisor here, and I'll be back. Okay, folks, you may say that I'm not too much of a, how do you call that, a videographer? We got her back together. Oh, hang on, right here, the box there. The carburetors are right in front here. And you can tell by the sound she's, hang on, I'll slow down the idle a little bit. I'll give her a little bit of gas and we'll see how she takes it. Looks like another success story. One of many. I know I didn't do too much of a good job showing you this, but the best thing to learn from this video, I think, is don't be scared. You just do it. But I know Harleys have these Kahin carbs on them, and these machines do, eh? So we're gonna go out for a test run, but maybe I'll just check back in here and I'll let you know. I don't tell no stories, eh? If it didn't go good, I'll be back in an hour or so. If it didn't go good, we'll need to walk to the camp from the road. Anyways, we're going out for a ride there, and I'll give you a report when I come back, and I'll sign out. Stay in there. Okay, friends, there's my buddy again. Hey, guess nobody harmed her, eh? One thing I noticed, the tail feathers are gone. So I don't know if it's, if they pluck them out or they lose them. But she's still making friends with me. Okay, I'll be back with the mule there. We're still on it there. Okay, folks, it's the end of the story here. Got the window in front. But last night I went out for a stroll at the neighbors, and so I didn't have no lights. Oops. Ooh, big belly. Hang on. It didn't have no lights. The lights used to be up here before. What I did is I took a bit of bar and I kind of, because see the roll bar here comes down this line here, eh? And the brackets right here, there's a pipe going across. Instead of re-welding here and everything, I just took it's a chunk of I think at least 1/8, maybe a little bit more. 2 holes. Mounted the light. These are LED lights too. That's an upgrade on the. And then I pushed in this just leatherette just to prevent the weather, eh? And so I mounted the lights and the light on the other side. Now I have my windshield, and see that clears. That's the whole. See, the light used to be up here, but it wouldn't clear the new window, eh? So by doing it that way, see what I do to up here is I pull this, and then there's a just see there's a chunk of rod in here. I think it's 3/8 rod in there, and I sewed it in, and then I just clamp that down from one side to the other. And then it used to rattle a lot, eh? So I put a chunk of foam. So when I want to pull the windshield down, well, that seems to be holding. And well, there we go to it's idling very nice. I took it for a ride and it runs real good. And another upgrade too, I'll have to polish. This is the front windshield, but now it's in the back. It's and I'll close. See the little spacer? I'll close that in, and then if ever I want to close it in for autumn and spring, because it gets cold in here, all I got to do is put sides here from there to here on both sides, and it'll be closed in. But I don't know. It's just to prevent. Seeing the windshield, eh? So that's see, we can see pretty good inside there. And carburetor job seems to be a success story. It's pulling good. It's that's the exhaust you hear right now. pulling good, and I think I got the 2 carburetors pretty well tuned up. So hang on, I'll turn myself in here. So that's it for this one, folks. I hope it wasn't more than 10 minutes. So I salute you all, and we'll see you in the next one.